lidmašīna!
Tur ir mana lidmašīna. Sveiki visiem, and I'll switch to English now. Hello everyone, welcome to another Riga airport update. This one, a very exciting one. Today is Latvian Independence Day, and so that means we are going to be holding a special Riga airport update, which is really just the same as any other Riga airport update. It's just that it's being uploaded on November the 18th. So back in 1918, on November the 18th, Latvia gained independence. And so this is its 105th birthday, which is very cool. And I mean, what better way to celebrate it than uploading a Riga airport update? If we go back to last year, actually, I did the same thing. I uploaded a Riga airport update, but back then I didn't even have this airport set up at all. And I had one airBaltic plane and one Lufthansa plane, and then I threw in another random one. It wasn't a very good update, but it set the course for what we're doing now. And now this is going to become a yearly tradition on the channel. Similar to AS Aviation and his Pakistani airports, we're going to be doing a Riga airport update every year on November the 18th. So, yeah, welcome back to another Riga update here today. Very excited to get into this one. And yeah, so we'll get started right here with the Latvian, the home airline here for Latvia, airBaltic on their Airbus A220-300 right here, the 100th Airbus A220 right here. This one arrived in from Helsinki, and this one will be heading out to Reykjavik, Keflavik. This one actually just arrived in. You can see the bus there towards the bottom of your screen. If I zoom out a little bit there, you can see the bus just arrived to pick up the passengers as this aircraft arrived in here. This is at the Hardstand gates on the, I believe this is the southern side of the field. Yeah, so around in this area, there's a whole a maintenance area for airBaltic and everything. There are a whole bunch of hard stands over there, and there's also some on the northern side of the airport, but I couldn't fit those in on the table here, so we included these on the southern end, as this one right here. And sometimes they don't really get to you don't really get to see them too many times in these airport updates, just because they're only really parked planes over here if they're going to be staying overnight, or if they're going to be getting repairs done. But this one here is actually staying overnight before heading out to Reykjavik. I'm recording this on Saturday, November 11th, which is actually Lāčplēš in Latvia. So another holiday here, so this is kind of fitting. So yeah, all these flights are from Saturday, November 11th, and it is at around the, I guess, the 4 p.m. time frame, kind of like that, somewhere kind of in there. I don't have really specific time frames for these airport updates, but yeah. So yeah, this aircraft will be staying overnight. So kind of an early overnight, if you will, but yeah, this is we already spent 3 minutes on this one aircraft, so now we'll move on to our next one. This one is quite exciting for this airport update. This one's a very unique aircraft. Not the first time this aircraft has made an appearance here, but it is the Eastern Airlines, not Airways, 767-300 right here. This is actually flying in for the 777-200. Which is still very cool right here. But I did have the 767 model, so it was a worthwhile substitution, I suppose, for my sake here, just because this is such a unique aircraft to get in here. We don't really get too many wide bodies in Riga, and if we do, it's for a special reason like this. This is coming in on some sort of charter. It came in from Tallinn, Estonia, and it will now, its departure was delayed a bit. We'll be heading out to Ramstein in Germany. I've never heard of that city before, but neither have the people of Ramstein heard of Riga. I'm not sure of that. There are probably numerous that have, but yeah, very obscure city, and but just cool to see Eastern in here. I'm assuming it's some sort of military charter, because that seems to be what they do the most, at least out of here. But yeah, very interesting right here. Love this model as well. It's a very nice livery here, and so yeah, gotta love Eastern. And this is, yeah, like I said, it's not the first time this aircraft has appeared in a Riga update. It has been in here before. So good to see them back in here again, and hopefully this aircraft is going to become kind of a consistent comer here every few updates or so. I mean, the last one was probably, that was a few months ago. But yeah, very, very fun right here. And I mean, this is the like I said, this is the second time this appeared here, so it's pretty consistent for a charter aircraft like this one. So I mean, you don't see this too often here, and I've included it in like maybe one other airport update at a different airport. So yeah, great to see Eastern back in here again, but pretty much nothing more to say on this one except that it is very cool to see. I actually did think of one more thing to say about the Eastern flight. If anyone's interested in Riga Airport plane spotters, I definitely recommend checking out Gustav Spotting on Instagram. He went and spotted it. There are probably other spotters out there too, but the main ones that I know that for in terms of Riga spotters, Gustav's spotting, then Daniel's Ikoniaks. Definitely give them a check out if you're interested in Riga plane spotters. I know it's kind of a niche, but I mean, you never know. If you're looking for the Riga airport resources, then I'll be happy to help. Anyways, now to our very fitting special livery here. This is the Latvia 100 years special livery right here. This is for their centennial 5 years ago. But they still have this livery. It just, now instead of saying Latvia 100 on the tail, now it just says Latvia. But it's still very relevant. I mean, obviously for today's update. So this one arrived in from Vilnius, Lithuania, ironically, and it will be heading out to Stockholm, Arlanda, and that is a flight that I have taken on airBaltic. So that is very nice right there, and just a wonderful livery right here. The red is a little bit too bright, I will say, for the Latvian flag, but fortunately, I think it gets a little bit shaded on the camera, so it looks a little bit more realistic on camera than it does in person. But they did make another Latvian flag livery, so maybe someone will do that at some point. So hopefully we can get a model of that one. And I mean, I'm always looking for airBaltic models, since I have every single one that's been released in 1/400 scale. I'm always hoping that more will get released, just because the number that they have flying in here to Riga is a lot. They fly in a lot here, so could always use more. So hopefully someone will release a new airBaltic model at some point. But this one definitely a highlight to this airport right here, and so yeah, glad to get this one back in this airport update. And a very unique shot for this Ryanair 737-800 right here. So this one is actually taxiing out right now. So this gate, I'm not really sure if they do this in real life, but it has, you can kind of see towards the bottom left of your screen, there's the taxiway line. And so this one is not attached to the terminal. So what the aircraft is doing is it started and is now taxiing out of the gate instead of being pushed back. Like I said, I don't know if they really do that at Riga Airport, but I'm going to represent it that way just because I think that's pretty cool. So this one is really taxiing out, making the flight out to Warsaw, Poland. It's operated by Buzz, because they're the Ryanair Polish sub-airline. They're kind of weird. Just their Polish subsidiary. It's like Lauda for Austria, but yeah, glad to get Ryanair back in here. They're the second largest airline that operates to Riga behind airBaltic. And speaking of airBaltic, back there you can't go wrong with the Fokker 50. There's the airBaltic Fokker 50. This one is in from Tallinn, Estonia, and it will be making the flight out to Amsterdam. And then here we have the Estonian flag livery right here for airBaltic on the A220-300, of course. World's only all A220-300 fleet, airBaltic. Youngest fleet in Europe as well. Anyways, this aircraft arrived in from Malta, and it will now be heading out to Tbilisi in Georgia. That is the country, not the state. Currently getting catered right now, as you can see right there. And once again, a very gorgeous livery right here, of course, representing the Baltic states. I mean, their name is airBaltic. They're based out of Latvia, but they have a large presence in Tallinn, Estonia, and then also a pretty sizable presence in Vilnius, Lithuania. And also, they have a focus city set up in Tampere, so clearly they're expanding, and glad to see that for airBaltic. And now here we have the other model that appeared in that original Riga airport update, apart from the Latvia 100 years airBaltic A220. It is the Lufthansa Airbus A320 right here. This one arrived in from Frankfurt, of course, and is going to be heading back out there on the turnaround. That is Lufthansa's only route out of here, and I don't anticipate them adding any more, obviously. But yeah, great to see Lufthansa back in here. They're, of course, very consistent here in Riga, and glad to include them back in for another airport update. Very consistent, visitors here in these airport updates, so I'm sure you're used to seeing this model and the A320neo that I have. But yeah, glad to see Lufthansa back in here. Wonderful livery, and yeah, great model right here. So nothing much more to say on this one, and we'll now move on to our final two models for this airport update. And here are our final two aircraft right here. On the bottom of your screen, we have the airBaltic A220-300 in the older livery. This one is in from Dubai, and it will be staying overnight, then heading out to Barcelona on the morning of the 12th. The next down there, we have the Ryanair 737-800 with the split scimitars, and this one is in from London Stansted, and it'll be heading back out there, turn around, and yet another fantastic model by NG Models. And that'll do it for our airport update today. Definitely a great one to do here, and I'm glad to continue the trend, the tradition now on this channel of doing Riga updates on the 18th of November. I'm just hoping that I remember it next year, because I almost forgot about it this year and remembered to do it. So I'm glad that I was able to do it, because it is always awesome here to do these airport updates. There's no one else that's doing Riga airport updates yet on YouTube, and I say yet. I'm hoping that Citrus Aviation will start making Riga updates soon. Fellow Latvian American aviation YouTuber. This is the second time I've given a shout out to Citrus Aviation here in the past week, but definitely a great channel. Definitely recommend you check them out. I mean, if you've been living under a rock and haven't heard of Citrus Aviation, it's a great aviation, model aviation channel, and hopefully you'll start making some Riga airport updates pretty soon, so you can give me some competition here. But anyways, that'll do it for our Riga update today. Thank you all for checking this one out. P6, awesome possibilities Novembris, and yeah, that'll do it. So thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. As always, good night. Auf Wiedersehen. Und Ata.